Hey, you guys, what's going on? Shaquan here from SLFX Trading, and I teach in a Trade on Purpose program. So, I want to come and talk about a currency pair that could be getting ready to sell. Actually, it's two currency pairs, but I'm actually just going to be going over one of them, okay? Because it's one of the ones that I watch the most out of the other one. But let's go ahead and get into the analysis. So, this is the dollar index on the weekly time frame, and something that we have to pay attention to is recently the dollar index made new highs at 97.45. And this was after a bullish push coming in from January the 10th. And as you guys can see, the dollar index has been in quite a strong uptrend for quite some time. And so now, as we're looking at this, you have to think about your next plays on your major currency pairs. Are you beginning to be a buyer or are you beginning to be a seller? Because the dollar index is one of the things that moves or dictates how these currency pairs they're going to move. And so when I'm looking at the dollar index, I'm thinking in my mind, is there going to be another bullish push? Are we going to see new highs in the future? And there's only one of two ways that you can see this. And one of the ways is your last higher low. So this is the last higher low at around 94.63s. And if price stays above that number, then we may see a price increase once again. But we have to get evidence of this on a lower time frame, okay? On a higher time frame still, but a lower time frame will be a little bit better. So right now we're in a bullish uptrend. There's no need to think that the sellers are in control right now because at the very moment they are not. And you don't want to play a bearish game against the dollar index. So what this means also is that it dictates how your pairs move, i.e., AU, EU, GU, and U. If you guys notice, those pairs have been decreasing. But then when you look at UJ, UCAD, U Swiss, those pairs have been increasing. And so this is one of the reasons why you want to look at the dollar index and keep it on your radar from time to time. So let's drop down to the daily time frame. As you guys can see, it's the same information. The information does not change. But what you're going to see now is more candlesticks, okay? So are we still looking for buys? Yes, we are. Because even if you look here on the daily time frame and we even broke this information down, I'm going to do it with you guys here like right now. So let's just go to the left just a little bit. So over here to the right, this was November the 24th around Thanksgiving. Price made a higher low, and then price made a new high here, and then price ended up decreasing, and I want to get the exact point as well. So I'm gonna have to, okay. So anyway, price ended up decreasing, making a new low. And I'm gonna actually zoom in to see which wick is lower, because you gotta do that from time to time. I do this with my students all the time. Which wick is lower? So higher low, this wick is lower. So that was a lower low. And I promise you guys, this stuff matters. And I love teaching this within my trading group because, if you don't zoom in, it could really hurt you sometimes. So it's a point 0.1 unit. It's still important. So that was a lower low right there. Okay. And around the same dollar point, but it still matters because after that, price made a daily lower high, and then we continue down, and then we get a lower low, and then what happens is now we have a daily higher high. So it's like price is still trading around the same area, but it still pushed higher, which shows that the bulls have control. So now when we're looking at it, this is the range in which we want to start to look for potential buying pressure. And so if the buyers can hold and stay above once, again, 94.63 and somewhere within this area to come back up, then we could see new potential highs. But there's still a possibility that price could test this somewhere within this range here of 158 points, but we won't know until that happens, okay? So we just have to wait to see what's going to happen. But on to the analysis for the currency pair that I'm looking at, which is the Australian dollar. And I'm going to start here on the weekly time frame. So just as the dollar is decreasing, as it's increasing, AUD USD has been decreasing. And I think the dollar index pairs very well with Euro USD and then USD Swiss, but more so Euro USD. It's like they mirror one another. But this one gets the effects of it as well. It's a major currency pair. And so when we look here on the dollar index, it's you don't have to go too far to the left to see what's going on your price chart. I know that some of you guys are being taught, go to the left, structure leaves clues, go to the left, structure leaves clues, but sometimes you can go too far to the left when really price just shows you what's going on here. You have a lower low at 0.69933, a lower high at 0.73145, and now a new lower low here around 0.6967. And so this is a downtrend. That's all you need to see that price in a downtrend. And now we want price to stay below 0.73145 because if it can, you can continue to be the seller. Okay. And so we're approaching this range. We're within the structure at which we want to see price come back and test for potential trading opportunities. But there is a range that price can test as well. But let's drop down to the daily time frame and let's break this time frame down. So just to the left, just a little bit, you guys can see where price was it was doing a retracement, but it was increasing higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. And then January 24th, price came and gave a new low, and we've been decreasing ever since. So we have a new lower low. So now we need price once again to stay below 0.73s, 145s. And there is a range at which could be tested of 164 pips, but this is the starting point and at which we want to start to see selling opportunities. And if we see those selling opportunities, then we're going to want to take price to make it to see if it can go bearish. Okay. So will I be looking for a sell on this? Yes, I will be looking for a sell on this currency pair. I'm going to look for a sell back down to 0.69673. And the only times I will stop being a seller, it's only when price passes the higher high at 0.73145, because that's where the last bulk of the sellers came into play, right? And so this is how I'm looking at AUD USD. I am looking for selling opportunities. And if this resonated with you guys, let me know. If you guys have questions, let me know in the comment section below as well. And prayfully, you guys have the rest of a good trading week. Talk to you guys in the future.